Welcome to my August 11th video update. I have two items today. One's a cautionary item and one is a happy discovery of something that maybe you will find a use for. First, the caution. I have a workflow for moving files from my iPhone after recording something like this or anything else with my iPhone over to my iPad, where I prefer to edit them if they are files that I'm going to edit using LumaFusion on my iPad. So I have this SanDisk iExpand drive, which is a great little device I've shown before. It goes into the iPhone and has a USB port plug as well, so you can transfer things to your computer. But I use it primarily to offload the files of the video files that I create when I'm recording, for example, the video update. And then I copy them to the drive, take the drive out, put it in my iPad, copy the files onto my iPad, and then I have them really in three places. I have them on the iPad, I have them on the iPhone, and I have them on here. So I typically, make sure that I have the files. I look at them on either on the iExpand flash drive, or I look at them on the iPad if I'm able to copy them right away, and I delete them from the iPhone. If I don't, then I'm going to end up with duplicates because of iCloud syncing and all that other stuff. So it's just what I do. Last week I had recorded some files and put the SanDisk iExpand drive into my iPhone, copied the files onto my iExpand drive, and apparently, I exited the iExpand app and pulled out the drive before the actual conclusion of the copying process. There's a little confirmation message at the end, and I hadn't said don't delete or keep the files, and so that was stupid. That was actually a big mistake, because then for some stupid reason I deleted them from the iPhone, which I don't usually do until I've checked. Well, when I did go to copy them to my iPad, it copied them, but it was 0 bytes. So obviously there was nothing there. Now, good news was, amongst this bad news, is that there happened to be something that was not crucial. It wasn't just having recorded a 10-minute segment for something I want to put on YouTube. It was something I was doing for something else. So it wasn't crucial. I was disappointed I lost the files, but it was a good lesson learned. So the bottom line is, don't delete files until you're sure that you have them someplace else, if you want them someplace else. Okay, so that's the bad news. I do have some good news, though. I went out yesterday with one of my tutoring students, and the idea was we were going to go over the buttons and dials on his camera, and so I wanted to record that so that he would have that as a reference that he could look at when he's not with me. What I really wanted to do was use my iPhone with FiLMiC Pro and record what we were talking about with a close-up on the camera. And I wanted to control the camera on the iPhone using FiLMiC Remote, an app I've talked about before that I've started to really use a lot more. And the good news is from FiLMiC that they are apparently updating it so it's more in line with, I assume, with the FiLMiC Pro app. So we'll see when that comes out. But the problem is I'm out in a public park. We're in a pavilion at a picnic table, and I have no Wi-Fi. And the way you connect FiLMiC Pro and FiLMiC Remote together is via Wi-Fi. So that wasn't going to work, obviously. So we went ahead and recorded it, and it all worked out fine. But it would have been nice to have the iPad right in front of me, and I could see what the camera was seeing, because there were a couple times we moved his camera and it wasn't really in frame, or it was getting a lot of glare from some sun that was creeping into the pavilion. But nonetheless, today I remember that I had this SanDisk Media Drive, this tiny little SanDisk Media Drive. It's a 64 gigabyte drive that also sets up a Wi-Fi hotspot. And as you can see the note in there, the red dot is telling me that my battery is very low, because I haven't used this for a long time. In fact, I found some old pictures from 2013 and 2016, which is only last year, that were kind of funny to look at. But the little green light is telling me Wi-Fi, because this drive, just like my Western Digital, my Passport Wi-Fi drive, sets up a hotspot, and you can connect, in this case, you can connect up to 8 different devices to it. Well, I only need 2. I have an iPhone, and I have my iPad, and I want them to be able to talk to each other. So I tested it out, and it works. So I just set up the media drive, as it's called. I have a blog post about this drive, and I'll put that in the description below. But so I set this up, turned it on, and went to it with my iPad, and it connected. And then I went to it with my iPhone, it connected, and you can see in the pictures, I've got all three of those things in the picture. And so as I move so then I also went to FiLMiC Pro and set up under the device menu to enable remote. That means that it will let FiLMiC Remote control the camera. And then I just, I moved my hand, as you can see in the picture, so that I was taking a picture into the dining room, and FiLMiC Remote on the iPad was showing that image. And so you can actually change the exposure, change the focus. It's really very, very cool and very handy in a kind of situation where I wanted to be able to film myself along with somebody else and a piece of equipment, and I wanted to see the placement. So that was a positive, good news kind of revelation for me. And this is easy to take in your pocket, so I can take this anywhere. Once make sure the battery is charged, because it's a self-powering device once it's charged up. And the battery has a fairly decent time, I believe, not numbers of hours, so it would last fine for something I was doing, like something I was doing yesterday. And we're going on a trip later on this year, and I was going to take my passport drive, which is about this big, but this might be the best thing, because I'm trying to limit the equipment I'm taking, but I still want the capabilities that I usually want to have available to me when I'm traveling. So that's my good news for today. Experimenting with lots of different things, and just got, in fact, this is using one of the Allo clip replacement lenses that I got. This is the super wide Allo clip lens on my iPhone 7 Plus, just to try it out. It came the other day. It was a replacement for the core. It was part of the core set, and a replacement for my active set that I bought. Can't say enough good things about Allo clip. They were quick to respond. They were quick to make the exchange once I had sent the old lenses back to them without the packaging. And they refunded me the $20 difference. So very good consumer experience. So thank you very much for checking in again to one of my video updates, and I'll look forward to seeing you at the beginning of next week. Have a nice weekend. Goodbye.